Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I decided to go ahead and go live and show you one more thing that I'm absolutely loving thus far. So, one of the areas that we tend to always have trouble in is two areas when we're dealing with homeschooling is math and English. We run ourselves completely ragged, always looking for the next best thing that we in hopes of working for English and hopes of working for math. And then we turn around and we just try to figure out if we have a child with learning differences, will this actually work for them? Now, like I said, in my homeschool, I have learning differences and I have gifted and talented, and I have like a little gray area depending on what topic or subject we're doing. Determines where they fall at in that area. Now, I had never heard of this company before. This is what happened when you get a little too much homeschool stuff and then you book. I bought this book and then I put it aside and I never really paid too much attention to it until I started going through my homeschools. That's why, FYI, I encourage everybody, before you buy anything, go through your homeschooling stuff first before you purchase anything, because that's when I found this gem. And I was like, this book has been up under my nose since forever, and I didn't even think about it until I opened it up and, was cleaning up my homeschool room. So this is AGS Publishing English to Use. Now, this is a very, I like the way it's broken down. So if you have a child that falls in the realm of they have learning differences, or you have a child that is overwhelmed with a lot of reading, it's like a tug of war to get them to read a lot of stuff. A child that is like, want you to go get straight to the point. And I have problems with that. So this is one of those books that this was one of the books I wish I had known about when I first start homeschooling. Now, a little bit background information. This company just don't have English stuff. They have math, they have English, they have history. They have a whole lot of different things in different subjects. So they just don't deal with English. Had I known about this company ahead of time in my homeschooling journey, years and years and years ago, this would have been one of the main things that I would have been using since the beginning had I known about it, but I didn't know about it then. So let me just basically explain a little bit of why I like this. And even if you don't have a child with learning differences, I'm not too sure whether or not this is geared towards children with learning differences anyway. I, just personally feel that it's something that works very, very well, because I didn't even look into all that. I'm just sharing with you how I personally feel about it. What I particularly love about this book is the way the font is big. I'm a bit stickler when it comes down to the fonts, because we have dyslexia, and running racy font is very distracting. So the font is good. It's separated. It's color coded. And I like where it engages the child and it engages you as the parent when you are learning. So it gives you different small direction on how the book is supposed to be used. And then it gives you small direct definitions about what are the parts of speech and give a sentence to explain it. And it kind of follows the same format like Remedia publications, but except it's a textbook form. And I like the way it builds. And in the side, it has different informations. And then it has their assignments are not long and drawn out. So if you do have a child that gets overwhelmed with a lot of worksheets, a lot of stuff to do, this will not overwhelm them on how it is written out. It's very pleasant. Another thing that I love about this book is that it not only encompasses English, the English language, it encompasses sign language. So your child will be learning sign language in the midst of learning English at the exact same time. So for parents out there, that's like my son didn't start talking until he was almost 4 years old, because he's high functional autistic and it's certain stuff. We had to teach him sign language in order to communicate, basic communication, right? And so when you deal with that, if you have a child that is nonverbal, autistic child that is nonverbal or have any type of learning difference where the lines of communications are different from another child, right? What we normally expect. This will bridge the gap, because even if your child can read or can't read as well, it has different things in it to help your babies, help your child, and it also has ways of making them independent. Like it has sign language for towns, sign language for telephone, and it gives the illustration of how they're supposed to do it. So they're learning 2 languages at one time, English and of course sign language. So, and it gives them that good brain break. So if they're getting a little overwhelmed, you can say, okay, let's focus on our sign language for the day. We're going to learn 2 words in sign language, or maybe 1. You don't have to do 2. And then it just breaks it down for you. And it breaks down different things. See, throughout the lessons, you're going to see different various sign languages. You're going to see different things. You're going to notice you're going to see different little things dealing with history. Even though it's an English book, you're going to see different things that your child can actually pull from and learn, and giving them writing practicing. And that's why I particularly like it. And really, this is the student, and this is secular, so it's non-religious. If you're looking for something, because I have some homeschoolers that follow me who are solely Christian-based homeschoolers, and then I have some that are solely based secular. And then I have some that are a blend between both worlds. I blend, but that's just me. I blend based on when history in the Bible, and then history, what happened in history books, it kind of blend during the same era. I mentioned both, whereas you may not. So it just depends on what type of homeschool. So whatever type of homeschool you are, I feel like this will blend with you pretty well, whether you are secular, whether you are Christian, but you still blend some stuff in Christian based. It really doesn't matter. But I particularly like this because of the fact it doesn't matter what type of homeschooling you are. It really works well. Like, you can't really find too many things that works well regardless of what type of homeschooler you are. All right. And this is the teacher's edition. This is the student. So do I think you actually have to have a teacher edition? Because teacher editions are way more pricier than the student edition. If you are a person who don't like looking up the answers, and you're very busy and you don't have the time, or you're not really good at English, then I suggest you get the book. It's not really hard, but it makes it easier knowing that you don't have to do all the work ahead of time. Now, with me personally, back in the day, I had a lot of time. I could do this, that, this, and that. It didn't matter if I got a student book. I would buy 1 student book, and then I would go through, read, and do all the answers. I don't have that type of time anymore. I'm on my wellness campaign, and also entrepreneur. So I need everything kind of mapped out for me more so now than I did before. And I still add in whatever I want. They also have career connections in this book of different learning styles, helping the educator, helping you understanding different learning styles, how to do this at home. Keep in mind, this was geared towards a school setting. So you have to adjust it based on what you need. They have the worksheets at the bottom of the sheet. You do not have to go out and buy this workbook. You can actually just create your own worksheet, write it down, or just go over the information because the answers are there. Just love the way this book is sectioned off and stuff like that. I do not have any other copies like the history or the math. I'm curious about it, but I am determined not to purchase anything else because I have so many. I need to just go through my room again to see what else, because I found this gem. I'm actually going to be sharing something with you guys in regards to public school related Spanish curriculum that is really pretty good. So I will be sharing that because I saw someone asked me about Spanish curriculum. So I do have a plethora of other Spanish stuff. However, I don't have this book highlighted on my YouTube channel yet. So I'm going to show you that. It kind of reminds me a little bit of how this book is laid out that I just talked about. And I may do that right after this video. So don't get annoyed because I keep popping up today. it's more easy for me to do it at this moment, going live back to back, than to record and upload and all that stuff like that, because I need to go do something else a little later. But I will be talking to you guys about this. All right, I am getting ready to go because this is actually what we're using right now. Some of the stuff that we're using right now. So I just pulled it from them right quick. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and get over it. They're like, I want my book back. All right, so I'm getting ready to go. You guys have a great rest of your day. This is great for any type of learning that I just showed you. However, I just feel that it's just so user-friendly in regards to if you have a child with learning differences. It's very difficult to find things that are price point friendly, for number one. Number two, that's easy to the eye. And number three, that still challenges them at the same time without them having an overwhelming meltdown because it's just too much overstimulation. So it's hard to find a balanced medium when you're homeschooling a child with multiple learning differences. Whereas I found this had a healthy, great balance between both worlds. They're still getting challenged, but they're not overwhelmed, and it's not too much information so that they can hold on to it. So you won't have to constantly be reteaching it over and over because they lost the information, and they're actually engaging with learning a different language. So if they do even feel a little overwhelmed with this, you can flip it a little bit and already have something ready that you can actually teach them sign language. And if they're not that verbal, this would be a great way to help them build independence because, hey, sign language. Okay, so I am getting ready to go. You guys have a great, amazing rest of your day. I will be popping right back on about this. Como te va? Como te va? All right, talk to you later. Bye.